Hey, Keith, why do you draw so many dragons?
It's the same reason why people like NASCAR. Everybody has their thing, and this just happens to be my thing. When it comes to art, I have to be invested in what I do, and I don't find flowers and landscapes and pictures of boat docks to be very interesting or very compelling. But these dragons and dinosaurs and monsters, they have all kinds of scales and weird-looking colorations and all kinds of things I could do. Basically, it's a playground for me.
A playground.
A playground. I know there's people who don't click on my thumbnails because they go, what the hell is this? Which is really unfortunate because they're missing out on a lot of good content here because I don't know anybody on the planet who does ink washes as good as me. Would you think?
I have no idea. I don't know anybody else who does ink washes.
Right.
So I don't have a comparison, I guess.
So on the video right now, I'm doing the eyeball on this dragon. I did not originally come up with this idea. I like my own ideas, but I needed to venture out. So I stole this one, and I like the design. And it has lots of plating on it, lots of horns, lots of spiky things. If you look at my artwork, spiky things is a theme with me.
So this one looks like a cross between a dragon and an actual dinosaur. What's that one dinosaur that has the armored plates? They have a model of it at Morrill Hall.
There's that Pachycephalosaurus that has that.
Yeah. That's what it kind of reminds me of.
There's also an Ankylosaurus.
One of those.
Yeah. So yeah, it kind of does. The forehead kind of resembles that. Like this guy could probably bash his head into something, but it would probably mess up his nose pretty good and probably bust his teeth out. But I like this design because it looks like he has roof tiles on his head. It's just kind of cool, and it allows me to do some good shading and the armament. Let's talk about The Hobbit real quick. Are you familiar with that one?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm not. I know there's Smaug's in it, and I know the dragon.
Smaug the dragon who guards the hoard of gold.
So, just give me a quick rundown. What's that movie about?
Well, that's like the prequel to The Lord of the Rings. That's how
I can't remember.
Frodo's uncle got the ring.
I can't remember what his name is even.
Oh my gosh. It left my head too.
Well, I'll say this: of the movies that came out, I didn't really care for that movie much. I don't know. It was way too long.
You have to be invested and you have to be dedicated to watch it because it is long and there's a lot of stuff to pay attention to. It's not one of those movies you can watch and just kind of zone out. You have to pay attention.
And they drug it out way too much. And the animated version, I don't think is much better. But anyway, I grew up with the Dungeons and Dragons magazines or books. A friend of mine was really into that kind of stuff. I have several of the books in my closet or
collection,
bookshelf, whatnot. And so I guess this is probably just a product of my youth. I'm just used to this kind of stuff. I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy, flowers and plants and landscapes. And
Bilbo. His name is Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins. There we go.
Is the Hobbit.
So I'm sure that if you like plants and whatnot, you didn't click on this, which like I said before, it's really unfortunate because look at how I'm putting that ink wash on there. That gives you really good dimension. What's the word I'm looking for?
Depth.
Depth. And your shading. Ink wash is the way to go. I mean, I use the side of my pencil quite a bit, but it's not even because it's fast. It's because it's effective. How do I explain that? I mean, it's just nothing has this look. Maybe you're not into ink wash, but expand your horizons. I do oils occasionally. My main art medium is acrylics because I can't wait long enough to go back into it. I do realize oil paint has a much more realistic look, but it's time consuming, it's messy, and you have to have all that oils and smells, and I don't know. I'm not Leonardo DiCaprio, Da Vinci.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Right.
Really?
So,
are you on the Titanic?
No. So
there was room on that door for both of them,
Right. So I just enjoy doing this kind of stuff, and it's time in the video where I need to say, please like and subscribe. And
hit the bell.
Hit the bell. Follow. Share this with your friends. Post this on your friend's art page. Tell us, say, hey, you know what? I know this guy. He has this really cool page. He does this really cool dragons. But if you want to learn how to draw, because this one here, I used a reference, but I did not use a projector for this one. So it's basically my drawing, which I need to talk about the reference thing. If you're an artist, you need to use reference. Well, I shouldn't tell you what you need to do. You can do whatever you want. You can do abstract paintings if you want to. I wouldn't. I don't really care for that kind of art. But if you want to have any kind of realism in your art, you need to go outside with your paper, set up a chair, and start drawing pictures of trees. That's an exercise they made us do in art school, and it's not fun, but it's kind of like going to the gym and weightlifting. I used to do that, and part of that was kind of painful and stressful, but you have to do it if you want to have big arms, and I used to have pretty big arms back in the day.
Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes what?
Permanent.
That's right.
So right now I'm on the back side of this thing. I did so much darks on the mouth, and I had to balance it out. And composition to me is a huge thing, so I had to darken the back of it up to balance that all out. I decided not to color this dragon. I just went with gray tones this time because I've done a lot of watercolor, and I just want to see what it looked like in grays. And I think grays is pretty cool. So now I'm thickening up some of my border lines here, which I did with my 8B as in boy pencil, and now I'm doing it with some of my darker ink washes. I'm probably about a 90% darkness here. Now I'm adding more texture because texture in a dragon is awesome. And in a bit, I will start handing out some highlights here because the highlights is the end game. It's the thing that makes the thing jump off the page. And I'm adding more, just basic, about 60% ink wash. We call those checker scales. Checker scales. No, here I go. Now look at this, right here. I'm putting in the eye shine on the eye.
Yep.
That is...
Makes it jump off the page.
It's the reason why you came here in the first place. Because if you learn anything here today, or any of my videos, it's how I do my eyeballs.
I also want to say, let's not underestimate the power of composition, though. I feel like that's just as important as how you do your highs and lows. Because if your composition sucks, your highs and lows don't make a difference anyway. We up until... Well, we kind of still do. Photography, sports photography. And, we don't care about what the game is, what the sport is, or any of that stuff. But the composition of that photograph really, really matters to make it not a snapshot, Same thing with this painting.
A good example is I left a little bit of room on the left side, so he's looking into something. If you could have done it the other way, but I always feel like you should give your subject something to look, some room to look, or move into. So that's why I moved him just a little bit to the... Can
I talk about your Zoolander thing?
Sure.
Okay, so Keith always paints heads facing left. He can't do a right turn. Zoolander can't do a left turn. Keith can't do a right turn. It looks weird to him.
I'm artistically dyslexic. And the sun always comes from the left side in my paintings. It's just the way I grew up, the way I always done it. If I tried to flip it around, it just wouldn't look right. So... It
might... You've tried it. You've tried forward-facing and once or twice.
My orc I just did actually was facing that direction.
Front-facing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're about done, so I want to thank you for showing up. Cheryl, thank you again.
Like and subscribe!